Okay, I believe we are live. Welcome to Tamarah's Closet today. I'm super excited today to have a very special young woman here with me from Venezuela. She is joining me actually today from Greensboro, North Carolina. And with her father Carlos is going to be here today joining me as well, helping to interpret and help her with some of the questions and add his input so that we don't have a language barrier. They moved here a couple years ago to escape the socialism of Venezuela. And they're going to be sharing their story, some of their concerns about what they see happening here in our country. So I want to welcome today Carla and her father Carlos. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And I'm really glad you're here because I'm looking forward to learning more about what's going on in the world. And I don't know that much about Venezuela. And I think what I've noticed is I think a lot of people here seem to think socialism is equality and it's a good thing. And from my research that I've been doing, that's not true. And so I'm glad that you are both here with me, and I'm excited. So welcome here. And I just want to get started with you, Carla, a little bit about what you remember about your childhood, the earliest memories you have. Because I'm sure you don't remember anything about the government or anything, but were you a happy kid? And
Yes, I was.
yeah.
Ok, te voy a ir hablando en español para que tú lo vayas traduciendo. Primero que todo, muchísimas gracias, Tamarah, por tenerme en tu programa.
Thank you for invite her to your program.
You are welcome.
Ok, con respecto a mi niñez, sí, no me recuerdo mucho lo que estaba pasando en el país, porque en ese momento estaba Chávez, no me recuerdo muy bien, pero sí me recuerdo que mi niñez, a pesar de todo, sí, era una niñez feliz y pues todavía estábamos disponibles en tener dentro de todo un país, normal y estable dentro de lo que cabe.
She didn't remember very well the political situation in Venezuela because, of course, she was a child, but she remembered that she was a happy child, and she tried to get happy instead of political situation in Venezuela. Because I mean, like a child, that to do whatever child do at this age.
You were breaking up a little bit because I believe when she was a child, Hugo Chavez was in office then, right? That would have been. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Because when you were a child, it wasn't Maduro, it was Hugo Chavez, right? Who was president then?
Yes, when I was a child, it was Chavez in the government.
Yes. Mm-hmm. What does as far as Carlos, for you and your wife, what were things like back then when she was younger, a child?
I mean, we try to get them a normal life. You know what I mean? Because we know that I work for an Irish company, but the small groups that the government, the regime has, is like they are called colectivos, and that kind of group were sometimes attack the company. Of course, how we work in that company, they treat us and they tell us to bad word, that kind of thing. So we try to separate things. I mean, the work and our family, and put away our family from that kind of situation, or that kind of job too.
Uh-huh. What kind of work were you doing then when she was young back then? You said it was an
Um,
Irish company?
no, no. I work. I'm a forestry engineer, and I work for a company. It's called Smurfy Cap and Grub. It's an Irish company, and the thing there it was plant trees, cut the trees, and send to the mill to make cardboard, paper, and cardboard. So that's what I did when I was in Venezuela.
Uh-huh. But didn't you have your own company?
No, when I was in Venezuela?
Yeah.
No, no, no.
Okay. But you were a forestry engineer.
Correct.
Right. Okay. And so what does your wife do there? What did her mother do?
Well, my wife also is an engineer, and but she was a teacher at the university and and also in some schools too. So yeah, that was a teacher.
Okay. Okay. Well, Carla, when you were, do you remember what some of your first dreams were when you were young? What you wanted to, did you dream about what you wanted to be when you grew up or?
Yes, and I always want to be a dentist. I think that was my dream.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
because,
Okay.
yes,
So you
because
always,
my aunt, she's a dentist. So yeah, I was spending a lot of time with her. So yeah, I love what she was doing. So I like it, and I always want to be there.
right. Well, when did you dream about coming to the United States when you were little, or was that later in life?
I think that was later when I was more old. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
When did you start thinking about it, Carlos?
Well,
When did
maybe
your
when I
dad?
was like 18, because I was in college and I was thinking about it, but I want to get graduated first and then just move, when finish school and all of that. Mhm.
Right. When did your dad start thinking about it? Had you thought about it many years ago, Carlos, or
Thinking about what? Come here.
Uh-huh.
coming here? Uh-huh.
Well, look, I don't know. I don't know if I have to tell you that, but when the regime took the company, they want me to work for them. So, but I said no. I don't want to work for them, and they told me that I if I don't do that, I mean, they were put me in jail. You know what I mean? And when they threatened me in that way, I thought come here to United States to be safe and to be safe with my family.
So what I'm trying to understand, so you're a forestry engineer, but it wasn't your own company, but before they were going to, who were you working for before that happened? Who owned the company, or were you an independent contractor?
No, 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 no. I work for that company, for one company in Venezuela, right?
Right.
And the regime took the company away.
The government,
The government.
Maduro.
Yeah, yes, the government took the company, and around 2,000 people lost the job, including me, right?
Uh-huh.
So after 1 month, they called me to work for them, and I said no. because they took a lot of company in Venezuela, and none of none of them. I mean, no company in Venezuela that the government took is working right now. You know what I mean?
So they're all out of business.
Yes. So I said, no, I don't want to work for you. So they said, well, if you don't, we are going to put you in jail. Jail.
Really? Well,
Yes.
what was it they were wanting you to do for them?
It's a lot of things they want me to do. So, I mean,
We need another interview just for that.
Yeah, I think so.
Is what? Say that again.
We need another interview just for that.
Oh, okay. So, okay, but it wasn't about being an engineer, and it was
No.
okay. So if you don't do what they say, if you don't work for them, they were going to put you in jail. Did they say how long they would put you in jail, or?
No, I have 2 or 3 friends that they also tell them that they don't want to work for them, and now they are in jail since I think 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
Your friends are still in jail because they wouldn't work for them?
Yes.
That's amazing. And how do they not get to go to trial or go to court or?
No.
Que si te iban a llevar a corte o algo así.
No. Just put you in jail, and that's it. I mean, that's the government do.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so when that happened, what started the process of you and your family? Because you obviously had to do something to escape going to jail. How did you do that? What did you have to do just to you still have your home, right?
Yeah, but I mean, they told me that. So when they told me that, I'm a friend, and I talked with my family, Carla. In this case, Carla, because she was 17 years old, and my wife, and we agreed to come here to be safe.
Right. So as soon as you found out they were going to put you in jail, y'all just started packing up and to come here.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they are telling me the truth, but I don't want to find out also. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. So, but you still have your house there, right?
Yes. Yeah,
So
yeah.
who's taking care of your house?
Nobody is in there.
Do you think it's safe or?
No, it's not safe, but I mean,
your house. Do you think your house is safe?
No, I think it's not safe, but I mean, there are nothing you can do about it.
Wow. So when you came here, but how many years had you been working for the forestry company, the engineer?
I had 13 years working for that company.
Uh-huh. And you like that work. You like that work.
A lot.
Oh, you love it.
Yeah, and so did it pay well? Did you enjoy? Were you able to enjoy the fruits of labor?
I'm a farmer too. So my parents are farmer, and I grew up being a farmer. So I had 2 coffee bean farms, and that kind of thing. So that means I love the farms, trees, that kind of environment. So that company pay me for go to the university and graduated or be engineer. After I graduated, I go to that company and they give me that work. I mean, so basically they pay me for my studies and then they give me the work. I mean, the job. I mean, I love that kind of job.
The engineer, the
Yes.
engineer. So that company sent you to school, and then you also have, you said, the coffee bean farm.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did the government take that farm away from you, that business too, or?
No, no, because recently I sold it. I sold them.
Right. Okay. Well, so what, are your parents still alive? Your parents, Carlos?
Yes, they are alive in Venezuela.
They're still there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just trying to understand the chain of events. Now, what did you think about that, Carla? Were you excited to leave Venezuela? Because it sounds like it was kind of sudden.
Um, well, yeah, because we were having a lot of troubles, and I don't wanna like. I wasn't like to stop study because I was doing like the lo que estaba queriendo hacer por toda mi vida.
I mean, she wanted to be dentist, and that's
Yeah,
why she was happy in Venezuela. But now, uh, uh, related to the situation, she has to come here. But I
exactly.
mean, she was a happy girl there until the situation was getting worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
Uh-huh.
even worse, like the 2 years, it was really bad, and we can't even have food, or it was so difficult to find food, or like I
That's
need
all.
a lot of things for school, and I even can find it, and it was even worse with the time.
So when Maduro took over, things got really worse. Now, and he took over in 2013, right? But you're saying in the last couple years, a couple years ago, it started getting really bad. Can you tell me some of the things that were happening that were really bad? Because I want people to see what happens when the government takes that kind of power. You talked about your food and you couldn't get things for school. What what were some of the other things? What's it like there when you try to go to the grocery store? And if you need to say it in your language and your father can translate, or
And if you go to the grocery store, you are not gonna find anything, pretty much. And you have to, like, hay gente, en Venezuela que viajan o tienen familiares afuera del país y revenden la comida a las personas que están en Venezuela en dólares. Pero no todo el mundo tiene el dinero.
There are people who, when you go to the grocery, you can find in that was 5 7 years ago. You can find anything at the grocery, including like paper towel. You know what I mean?
and that
So,
was
and some people get related to the government sold the food to another people. You know what I mean? And they sold food in dollars. So they buy in bolivares and sell in dollars. So that was difficult for so many people to get food, paper. You have to spend maybe 3 or 4 or a week to put gas in your car. Uh, so many people cannot find medicine. It's really, really hard. Or that was really, really hard to get medicine in Venezuela. So many people, so many child die because of they like a simple fever. You know what I mean? Like a diarrhea, something like that.
Right. So they couldn't get medicine, but I couldn't understand what you were saying about the food exactly. All of a sudden, when you go to the grocery store, there's not much food. So where do you get food? Where is the food?
I want to know that too.
I mean,
That's the thing.
you had to pay in dollar to get the food.
You had to pay a lot of extra money, you're saying?
No, you have to pay in dollar.
In dollar?
Yes.
And I'm not sure what you're saying.
Oh, because we got a different money. It's not the same money as you use here. We don't have dollar, and the people doesn't available to get dollars. You know, we use bolivares, so nobody really have dollars in Venezuela, and they just could find it. You know, they just couldn't pay food.
So you're saying you had to have American dollars to buy the food?
Correct.
Well, that's crazy. I mean, you wouldn't have that. And then, okay, so what did the people do that didn't have the American dollars? I mean, what?
Yeah, remember there are a lot of people outside the country. I mean, and they send money to Venezuela, to his family, to their family. So you know what is the minimum payment in Venezuela? $16 per month. $16 per month. One teacher earned $2 per month.
One teacher earned $2 American dollars a month?
Yes.
And who got the $16 a month you were saying?
I mean,
minimum wage.
Minimum wage.
Yeah.
But one teacher didn't even get that.
Yeah.
So this is terrible. So what are some of your friends doing that are still living there that didn't get it, haven't gotten out? Have you talked to them? How are they surviving?
Look, I mean, you can't imagine what kind of thing they are doing. So they sell whatever they do, like I don't know,
food. They are selling like they make food at home and they sell it, or most of they are farmers. But it is bad for everybody, you know, like whatever job that you have there is gonna be bad.
Wow. See, they pretty much are just scrounging around trying to figure out how making food.
Exactly.
Just to try to make money. So were they taking a lot of people's businesses away from them?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you have some other friends who lost their businesses or?
Yeah, in fact, Carla's, my wife, brother, they had two, like a Home Depot here, Office Depot here, like a library, something like that. And the government took his, that's two business.
He had a business kind of like a Home Depot with that kind of home improvement stuff, and they just took it from him.
Yes.
And then when they take your business, do they close it or do they let you work for your business or?
No, they just took the business and I mean, pull you away, and they do whatever they want to do with that. So a lot of the business that they took, they are not working anymore. You know what I mean? It just took the business and that's it.
Wow. So, I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, I can't, I mean, we're so blessed here, and, I just don't, sometimes I think the American people here, we forget how blessed we truly are and how good we really have it, and which is why I don't understand why some people are complaining. And that really bothers me too when I hear these stories. And so, I know we were talking about the grocery stores, but I also read in my research that you know you couldn't even go into shopping stores except a couple days a week. Is that true, or how?
Yes, because we gotta, as a Venezuelan citizen, we have like a ID, and then we have to get like nos permitían comprar comida dependiendo de, ¿te acuerdas de tu último número de cédula? Eso es lo que yo estoy queriendo decir.
No, ya te tengo cuenta de las tiendas, los shopping centers.
Bueno.
Could you please repeat again? Repeat the
Yeah,
question.
when I read in an article I was reading by a young activist that they were saying how in Venezuela you can't even go into shopping malls except maybe a couple days a week. Does that make sense?
No, ya los shopping centers, shopping mall.
Shopping centers.
Oh, I'm not really sure about that. Like, I mean, it's a lot of stores that is even like almost all of them are closed. So I guess that's why you are saying that.
So some of them they're just closed.
Yes, or
Most
they
of
don't
it.
even have nothing like on stock.
They just don't have anything in stock, so they don't. And
Yeah.
you can't get medicine, you can't get food. And you were telling me in the photo shoot for the magazine that the only way you could get food is if you had a lot of money, and it would be really expensive just to get something simple.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's why a lot of children were dying, and because of the inability to get medicines. Okay, I'm gonna see if you can understand this question. I was reading a quote, and this was one of the quotes I read. It says socialism not only takes away from people the access to basic food and medicines, but it also creates an environment in which life is worth nothing. And that was Gianna Raffo, who fled in 2015. So this has been going on for a while. So could you understand that? She was saying that it not only could you not get food and medicines, but it became to where you didn't feel like living. Life wasn't worth living. Is that the feeling that you got before you left?
Yes, because every day is a struggle there. You know, you are living in like a jungle. You know, you have to faith for everything is difficult for find food, and that's your everyday. You know.
Right. And what about crime? I mean, there must be a lot of the crime must have started going up. Did you have problems with people robbing each other and even I was reading how a lot of people were getting murdered just because they were trying to survive.
Of course. Well, in 2018, I get assault just because I was walking in my like in the college. You know, I was walking and I don't remember. I just was gonna buy food or something, and these two guys just like take me my phone and my money,
Shoes.
my shoes, and I got a scratch in my arms for that because they caught me with a knife.
They had a knife. They cut
Yeah.
you with a knife, and they wanted your money, your wallet, and they took your shoes.
Yes.
I mean, I would have been afraid to go anywhere after that. What did you do? I mean,
Well, I was bad. I was crying, and I just called my mom.
And it
But like that's even if you can imagine, that's normal in Venezuela. Like if you told somebody that you get robbed or you get assault, nobody is gonna freak out because that's happen every day. You know, like
and the police don't do anything. I mean,
No.
we don't even have police there.
there's no
Well,
police.
but in fact, this 2 weeks ago, three young girls were killed by somebody, I don't know who, and kidnap her them and killed them and threw away under the bridge.
Good Lord, that's terrible. That's horrible.
Yeah.
You know, and so I can see why. I mean, I can see why you were afraid, and when they were threatening to throw you in jail just for, you know, because you didn't want to work for the government. And, you know, I see, I just can't, that's just beyond my imagination. I can't even imagine having living like that. What I want to hear from you now is what signs were you seeing? Because you came here and you're doing construction here, is that right, Carlos?
Is that right?
Right. And what is your wife doing here?
Uh, she's doing, I mean, too many things here. She worked for a company called Made
For a clean company.
Clean Company.
Cleaning company. Okay. All right. And so you came here and what you came here to be free, and then what you came into Jet Up Nutrition, Carla, one day, and you were upset, you were in tears because you said, you told Kathy that you saw things happening here, the first signs that happened where you lived. What are some of those things? You can both answer this question. What are some of the things that you were seeing here that frighten you?
Um, um, well, it's never gonna be the same. I think. Yeah, because Venezuela is that they are doing that like since 20 years ago. So yeah, I think it is different situations between Venezuela and United States. You know.
Right, but you told Kathy you were seeing some things happening here that made you worried things were going to change
Oh
here.
yeah, I told her that because she told me one day that she go to the grocery store and she couldn't find a toilet paper. And I said, "Oh, that's funny because I remember that when I was in Venezuela, you know.
Yeah.
I
And
couldn't."
yeah. And what do you think about what do you think, Carlos? Are you concerned about what's been happening here and you know, what you have seen some of the, like with the shutdowns and I don't know if you can understand me.
No, no.
She means, o sea, ella quiere decir con todo lo del coronavirus y todo eso, que que si tú piensas que está igual como está en Venezuela.
You are saying that the situation here is like the same thing that in Venezuela.
No, but there's a lot of people concerned with some of that. The government here is wanting more and more control, and they're shutting us down and not
Yeah.
allowing us to work. And does that
Yeah,
make
I got
sense?
it. Well,
And
I'm really not sure about political situation here, right?
yeah,
So I try
We're not big fan of politics.
of political things. But
After Venezuela, you get traumatized with that, and you don't want to know about anything about politics.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I have my opinion about that. You have a strong institution. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean that's not easy. That happened here. The same thing that happened in Venezuela. So because you have a strong institution here, and I think it's too difficult that happen the same things.
Yeah. But like there's a lot of small businesses. I think we were talking about, I was talking about to Carla about a lot of small businesses that are losing their businesses because they won't let us open our businesses. And so he was saying there was those were concerns. And, not being told you have to get a vaccine. Now, did they do that there where you were from? Or you obviously couldn't even, get vaccines if you can't get medicine there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so what is your plans for to stay here, I guess? Because you still have a house in Venezuela, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But we are already thinking sell it.
Sell it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what would you, I know we're having a language barrier. So what would you, let me put the question a different way. Some people think socialism is a good thing. Here, I'm talking about people here.
Mm-hmm.
What, and you obviously know it's not. So what would you tell people here about it? How would you explain to them how it's much better here?
I just tell them that be able to listen to our histories and do your own research. It's a lot of country that happen the same situation like Cuba or Venezuela. So do your research about it, and you are gonna get your own conclusion about how socialism works.
Yeah. And so people here think it's equality, but do you call that equality in your country, Carla? Or by either one of you?
We don't.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah. Because it's not. Because the only people who could buy food or buy food in your country, you had to have a lot of money or you had to have access to the US dollar. Is that right? That's what you're telling me?
Yes, it is right.
Yeah. And so, yeah. And so here you can, what did you think when you came here and you go into a grocery store and you see all that food?
Well, it was crazy the first days, because if you want to go to the grocery store, you can just get whatever you want.
Look, they spend a lot of time in that getting food, getting that kind of thing. So
What did he say, Carla?
That we spend a lot of time in the grocery store, buying anything that we don't have like for 10 years ago.
Yeah. So I guess what if you could tell people here, what would you say to people here? We should be more grateful, or because things are better here.
Be more grateful. You do your own research, and you are gonna find out. Definitely.
Yeah. And what do you feel about it, Carlos? What do you are you grateful to be here? And do you think people should see how much better it is here than other countries, or what would you say?
It's with her, right?
With me?
With your father, what does he think? What would he tell people here? You know, we should be grateful, but what would he say about, you know, this great country?
Look,
¿Qué tienes para decir de
so I just tell them that first gave them say them thank you because they open the door to allow us to get here and be safe and be that's the first thing. The second thing is like they have to be grateful because they have a great country. You have a great country, and that has opportunity for people who wants to be a good person and good professional. You have good thing here like good university, good school, good college, and you have to be grateful and work harder every day to maintain that kind of institution and to get or to be more institution with don't allow people get from you that beautiful opportunity that you have here. And I don't know about Republican. I don't know about Democrat. I don't know too much about it, but I know that both of you, whatever you are concerned about American people and like that. So it's not like you are Democrat. It's not like you are a Republican. You all of you are concerned about American people, and that's what I, I'm really appreciate that. And you are concerned also to another people that they are not from this country, and you allow them or allow us to get an opportunity that we didn't have in our country.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. We are a good country. And we do, and we are. I'm super glad you both were able to get out of there and here, and I'm glad that I'm get to meet your father today, and I'm glad I've gotten to meet you, Carla. And there are a lot of great opportunities, and you know, and we are just hearing your story. It reinforces how free we are here and how blessed we are. And so I can't imagine what you've been through, and it's mind blowing to me. In fact, when I was doing the research, I found it very difficult to get too deep into it because it was very upsetting to me, you know, to think that you've had to live that kind of life. And so I'm glad you were able to get out. Now, what's the process like now going to become a citizen here?
Uh, could you repeat it? That I can't hear you for 20 seconds.
Okay, what's the process? You're now going through the process of becoming a citizen. Is that right?
Well, we are under. We introduced the paper for political asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are in that process, and I hope uh, everything is going to be good. And we believe that we are going to get it and continue safe and to get our freedom here.
Yeah. And can you explain to the viewers what that asylum is? It's you get a lawyer.
Yes, we got a lawyer. When we came here, we we talked to our lawyer and we introduced our paper 2 years ago. Now we have paper for to work, so like a legal person. And our lawyer said is due to the pandemic, so the process is like it's a slow, no? So we have to be patient because we know what happened around the world. So, but I mean, we are in that kind of process right now, and we hope we are gonna be okay.
Yeah, I think you're going to be great. I think you're going to be great. I can't wait to meet you, Carlos, over at Jet Up Nutrition, and I'm so glad that I met Carla. And did she tell you she's going to be on one of my magazine covers?
Oh yeah, I told her.
Yes, that'd be great.
What do you think about that? She's beautiful.
She is.
Thank you.
She is beautiful, like her father.
Well, now I haven't met her mother yet, so I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm glad that your mom, your dad, and your mom both have worked here, and you're going to the dental school to be a dental assistant. And so I'm really proud of you for that, Carla. And I'm very proud of you for coming on the show because I know this was hard. And I know there's a language barrier, and I'm grateful your father was able to help us. And you know, he can help us with the article for the magazine coming up. And I'm so glad that you were able to escape and get here and start a new life. And what's it like so far before I let you go? Are you still just loving it here?
Yes, we really like it. I do like it. So, and I'm doing the dental assisting. So I'm doing what I like it, and yeah, I can't complain.
Yeah. And you're liking it too, Carlos.
Of course, yeah. You can go to hiking, biking, so you can buy whatever you want. You can talk to the people in a normal way. So we have a lot of friends here, American friends. So so many friends from different parts of the world. So I mean, I love that.
Yeah. It's great, isn't it? I mean, I can't even, and there's a lot more opportunity here.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you. Don't hang up. I'm going to say goodbye to the viewers. I want to thank you both. Is there anything else you would like to say to the viewers about what's great about being here versus Venezuela? Is there anything that we didn't mention?
Well, I think everything is better than Venezuela, of course. We got food, we got freedom, and so yeah, definitely is better.
For me, I think that's it. Just to be, it's a pleasure to you invite my daughter to your program, and I'm glad you did that, and I'm glad spend these few minutes with you talking. Try to talking with you. Yeah, we know now our English is like it's not very good enough, but we try to. So, but
well,
I mean,
you did good, and I could understand enough to go. I just wanted you to share a little bit about what it's like there now, and because sometimes I think us Americans we tend to focus on what's wrong with our country, and when in reality there is so many great things here. And my dream is for, I hate politics. I do not like politics. And my dream is to inspire people to come together and work together to continue being a great country instead of fighting over who's right and who's more right. because I think there's beauty in both sides, whether you're a Democrat or Republican or whatever. And I'm so drained hearing, people fight about it. That's why I wanted to have you on the show so people could say, look, we've got it good. We've got it good. And by you sharing what's going on in your country and what it's like, living somewhere where you don't have the freedom and the opportunities that we have, and how nice we can just walk into a grocery store and there's tons of food. And, so that right there, I think just you being on the show and sharing that, I'm hoping will wake people up and make them say, look, we should work together to keep this country great and keep moving forward instead of picking it apart and finding fault, because it really is a great country, or you wouldn't have wanted to come here. So
it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamarah. It was nice to meet you, and I'm glad to meet you.
Yeah, me too.
I really like what you're doing, so keep doing it.
Oh, thank you. I am, and I can't wait to have you model for me some more, and I'm very excited to have met you. So let me say goodbye to the viewers. Don't you guys hang up yet. I'll say goodbye, and then I'll take us off air, and then we can say our goodbyes. So I just want to thank the viewers for their continued support, and join me again next Friday, as I'm going to be interviewing Dave Bray, USA, and I've been following him. He's a singer-songwriter and veteran. He's a patriotic musician, and I'm very excited to have him on my show. We tried 2 or 3 years ago, and we couldn't work out our times, so I'm very, very excited to have him join me. And make sure you share this interview on all your social media sites and other interviews of Tamarah's Closet. Join me next week, and then 2 weeks after that, I'm going to have Joey Canyon, who also has his own show and is going to be starting his own TV network. So we got a lot of great things coming. Join us next week, and to your own success, keep on rocking it. Thanks.